A quote by Friedrich Nietzsche. Only a slave quantifies its existence through productivity. Now, when I first heard that quote, I didn't really understand it. But you see, the more I thought about it, I felt into a deeper realization. And the more I realized how true it actually is. When you look around, everywhere you go, when you see the people around you, they are obsessed with being productive. They are obsessed with doing the work. He actually said that whoever does not have two-thirds of the time of his day is a slave. Now, when I see people waking up at 5 a.m., working harder, studying longer, sleeping less, grinding for something they want, building some product, hustling for anything, repeating every major habits, that's good. I am not against working, but you see, somewhere along the way, when all this was happening, being busy became something people are proud of. And I think that is not a right way to convey what work is, because people don't flex how happy they are anymore. People don't say that yes, they were very happy, they were fulfilled, it was a great time. They flex how exhausted they are. Whenever you open an app, whenever you talk to someone, they talk about, I only slept 4 hours, I was studying 80 hours this week, I was working 100 hours this week, I haven't taken a leave in months. Almost like suffering has become a status symbol. And don't get me wrong, I am not against the hard work. In fact, hard work is one of the most important things a human should do, or a human can do. And anything meaningful or successful was never built without effort, was never built without hard work. So yes, I'm not against hard work, but there is a huge difference between working hard and making work your identity. Because the moment your self-worth, the moment you yourself depends on how productive you were today. It is not you using your work to get something. It is your work using you as a medium. When you see it at a deeper level, what are you actually chasing? Think about it. Most people work hard. Why? The obvious answer, the most genuine answer, the most basic answer to this question would be to build a better life, to get more freedom, to do what they want, to get something they wanted, to build something they wanted, to spend more time with their family, to get more opportunities, have less stress, right? That is all comes into our minds. But then something strange happens. There is a point where people finally reach what they thought of they wanted, what they were chasing. But instead of slowing down at that point, they speed up. They think of what's next to achieve. They make more money, they work even harder, they work 80 to 100 hours, 120 hours. They become more successful. They now grow even more fast and somehow have even less time. Now, at that point, what exactly are you working for? It is my point. Because all this hustle, if it never ends, if your work never ends, then success starts looking like a prison. The biggest lie about productivity is, I think, that our generation has been sold is that your value comes from your output. I do not believe it. You should not be valued from your work or the output you have created from the work. how many hours you have studied, how much money you have made, how many videos you have uploaded, how many habits you have completed, how good of a person you have became, how productive your day looked. These all should not matter, because you see, I myself have fallen into this trap. There have been days where I studied, where I did my work completely, where I went to the gym, where I avoided junk food, where I edited videos, I recorded videos, I uploaded them, I learned something new, I even did something that I wanted to do from very much time, and still went to sleep feeling guilty. Not because I hadn't done enough, not because I did not did enough, but because I convinced myself I could have done more. And that is my point, that feeling is dangerous, because eventually nothing will feel enough, nothing will feel fulfilling, nothing will feel enjoying. People will stop enjoying the process, the progress they are making, because you are already thinking about the next thing. You are not even living in the present right now. I started asking myself recently, I asked myself something: if I reached every goal I currently have, would I finally allow myself to relax or to go somewhere to have fun? Or would I immediately create another goal and tell myself that I will be happy when I reach that one? If you or I think a lot, the answer is simple. We always think about the next thing. It's always the next exam, maybe the next promotion, maybe the next milestone you want to get to, the next paycheck you want, the next assignment you need to complete. We do not live in present. We are constantly chasing tomorrow. And that's where I feel that we have been deviated of what we were made to do, while forgetting that today is part of our life too. Success isn't the problem. Success is not the bad I am talking about. Ambition isn't bad. Hard work isn't bad. Wanting more of something isn't bad. Earning money is not bad. The problem starts when your success becomes the only thing that gives your life value. Because what happens on the days you are not productive? What happens on the days you are not on your job? What happens on the days you are not an engineer, you are not a doctor? Who are you? Because do you suddenly become less valuable? Of course not. Your value is same. But that's exactly how many people treat themselves. They compare their value from their productivity. One lazy day and they will feel guilty about the day. They will feel guilty about their life or how they are. One missed workout or one missed session of work, and they will think they have failed the rest of their work or life or week. They convince themselves that they are falling behind. Why? Because their value is depreciating, as they have connected it to their productivity. That is not discipline, that's emotional dependence on productivity. And productivity is not something emotional, it is a total technical term. What is the what is the paradox? What is the paradox I want to talk about? Here's something that never made sense to me, because people say they work hard, so one day they can enjoy life. But then they reach that point, and instead of enjoying life, they just keep working. They chase on to their next goals. But why? The question always remains the same, that why? Because somewhere along the journey, while coming till the milestone, they had stopped working for freedom. They started working for validation. They started working for their value. The work itself became their identity. They lost themselves in the process of becoming someone they wanted to be. And without it, they don't know who they are. And honestly, it is the worst case scenario that anybody can be in. That's terrifying. Losing yourself is not a joke. Now, the question that nobody asks is, imagine, let's talk it like a hypothetical scenario. Imagine someone offered you unlimited money, but the condition was simple: you have to spend every waking hour working. You see, no weekends, no promotions, no vacations, nothing. You need to only work for the rest of your life, and you will have unlimited money. What will you do of that money if you have no hobbies, no time for your family, no time for traveling, no peace in your life? Your mind is stressed, no sleep. Would you accept it? Not 99, probably 100% of you will say no. Yet, without realizing it, this is the situation everybody is currently in. That's the exact direction many people are heading right now. They are sacrificing today for the sake of tomorrow that they may never ever see, that they never even get to see, or they don't know about. The real goal of this video is not that I want to say something that would offend you. But I don't think the goal of life is to avoid hard work. I don't think it is to become lazy. I don't think it is to quit chasing what you want or to quit chasing your dreams. I think the goal is much simpler. Working just hard enough to build a life where work isn't the only thing that defines you. And when you think about it, being busy became a personality. I think somewhere along the way, being busy have stopped becoming something we did and started becoming who we are. Ask someone how they are doing. Most people do not say I'm happy or I'm great. They say currently I've been just so busy, or it has been much of a work. Almost like, being busy automatically means you are important. And maybe that's why so many people feel struggle to slow down. Because slowing down automatically starts feeling like falling behind. And people don't want it. Of course, nobody wants that. If you are resting, it feels like you are guilty of committing something. If you are not producing something, you feel like you are wasting your time. Eventually, this feeling starts to develop on a deeper level. You don't even know how to enjoy doing nothing anymore. You don't know how to sit down to relax. You need that constant work to maintain yourself, and your mind immediately starts thinking about everything you should be doing instead. I have personally felt it too. Sometimes after finishing a study, or when I am doing editing, when I am working out in the gym or running, instead of feeling satisfied that yes, I came here, I did this thing today, I immediately start thinking, what's next? What is the next thing I will do? No appreciation, no applause, no pause for the work you or anybody is doing, just the next task. And that's when I feel that we are converting into robots, because that's how robots operate. You see, they optimize themselves to a task, to the next goal, to the next thing they want to do or they want to complete, And that's when I realized maybe productivity isn't the problem. Maybe it's my relation with productivity. What success actually means, everyone wants to be successful. Okay, I do too, you do too. I want to build this channel. I want to be in good shape. I want to earn money. I want to get into a better, place, better opportunities. I want to create something meaningful. But you see, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, with thinking that you need to do something. But I never want to reach a point where I become successful and forget how to actually live. Because if success costs you your peace, your freedom, your identity, your health, I personally do not want this type of success. Because then what is left with me? The ability to enjoy my life would be gone. And will it be really the success I wanted? Or did I just built myself a expensive prison? We keep moving the finish line further and further as we get closer to it. Think about your own life. How many times have you told yourself, I will enjoy after I do this? I will finally be happy when I get into maybe a new college, maybe a better shape, maybe when I will earn more money, when I hit a certain milestone, when I get a promotion, when I buy some shit, when I move out. It can be anything. The problem here is that finish line never stays in the same place. It will keep moving and moving and moving. Once you buy a car, you will buy a home. Once you buy a home, you will buy a bigger home, and it will keep moving and moving and moving. The moment you reach it, your brain creates another one, then another, and then another. This loop never ends. And that is why I certainly feel that success does not mean anything until and unless you are there to enjoy it. Your entire life becomes preparation for a future that never arrives. One thing I have been learning recently is that life isn't something you complete, it is something you experience. Not every moment needs to be productive. Some of your best moments in life may or will never appear on your resume. A conversation with your parents, a walk outside, a great session of gaming with your friends, watching sunset with someone close, or reading a book because you enjoy it, watching a movie because you like it. These are the moments that will remain. Not because someone recommended it as a productive habit. No, of course not. Those moments don't make you richer in terms of money, but they make your life richer in terms of memories. And I think there's a big difference. Don't waste your life preparing to live. Imagine, let's take it once more in a hypothetical situation. Imagine you are 80 years old. Now you look back at your life. Would you be proud that you answered more emails? Would you be proud that you worked an extra hour every single day? Would you be proud that you never took a break? Would you be proud that you were the most hardworking person in the room? Maybe, maybe you would be proud, and yes, there are people that might be proud, but I think that you would care more about the memories you created, the people you loved, the risks you took, the meaningful things you built because you wanted them, the life you actually experienced, the places you traveled. Because no one reaches the end of their life wishing they had replied to one more email or worked more hard. So, I mean, work hard, but know why. I'm not making this video to tell you to stop working hard. I have been saying this for 3 or 4 times right now. I'm going to keep studying. I'm going to keep uploading videos. I am going to keep going to gym. I am going to keep going to chase my goals. I am going to create what I want. I will be going to do what I want to do because I genuinely enjoy building something. I genuinely enjoy posting these videos. Even if nobody watches them, I love them. But I also don't want to become someone whose entire identity depends on achieving more. When I started this channel, my whole focus was to put every day a video. But then I realized slowly that it does not matter. Because if I only allow myself to feel valuable when I am productive, I will never actually feel enough. And I do not want to live like that. So maybe the quote isn't telling us to stop working. Maybe Nietzsche never wanted us to see the quote that way. Maybe it's reminding us not to become a slave to our own ambitions, to our own dreams. Work hard, grind more harder, dream bigger, build something meaningful, build something successful, build whatever you want to build, but do not forget why you started. Success should give you more freedom, not take your freedom or build a prison around you. Because at the end of the day, your worth isn't measured by how many hours you worked. Your worth isn't measured by how many assignments you completed, how many boxes you checked before sleeping, or how productive your morning routine looked, blah blah. Your worth was never something you had to earn. It was already there with you. You just never acknowledged it. Productivity should be a tool, not your identity, not something related to your value. And if you remember nothing else from this video, because I think it has been already 15 minutes, remember this. Don't spend your entire life preparing to live and forget to actually live. Do not spend your entire life preparing to live and forget to actually live. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep grinding, be consistent, and bye bye.